Welcome back, everybody. We're live with Matthew from Furious Paintball. Don't get angry, get furious. How's it going, Matthew?
Yeah, hey guys, good, good. I'm glad we finally managed to set this up.
Yeah, sorry about that. You know, the rats of the web have just been keeping us down, but we tied up Ryan the Mighty and used his Jedi powers to get you on.
Okay.
So, tell us how did Furious Paintball get started?
It's really an interesting story. I would say is what happened was when I started playing paintball 11 years ago. I guess it's always been, every paintball player always wants to have their own field. So, and paintball is very new in Malaysia. So I worked with a couple of people. I finally managed to set up a field, and I started supplying a lot of the fields with wholesale equipment. And I thought, I'd really like to set up a paintball company that manufactures a paintball product, but I had no idea what kind of product to manufacture. So at that time, there was a company called Angry Paintball. For those guys who remember, the Halo was the most popular loader at that time, and the Angry boards was what Dynasty was using, Ollie Lang was using. Everybody was upgrading their Halo boards with the Angry boards. So I was selling a lot of these Angry boards in Malaysia, and I had an idea. I thought, it'd be really cool if I could program the boards whereby once they detect a jam, they would have an anti-reverse. I mean, they would reverse automatically, which is what the VLs and it's like a standard these days. But that time, nobody did it yet. This was before the VL came out. So I already had a product, but then I didn't have a name for the company. So I was thinking, and I wasn't very impressed with the level of customer service from Angry Paintball. So one day I was just thinking, and the tagline kind of hit me: "Don't get angry, get furious." It's like, don't buy angry stuff, buy furious stuff. And I thought, wow, Furious Paintball would be a really cool name because furious. I mean, it evokes so many kind of emotions when you mention the word furious. It's such a powerful word, and that's how we managed to get the name Furious Paintball. And that's why the tagline is "Don't get angry, get furious." So what happened after that was basically the board didn't work out because I couldn't find the programmers to program it according to how I wanted it to work. So that was scrapped. And I ended up meeting up with one of the guys that designed the Evil Pipe series and the Lucky Barrel series. And he told me, he said, when people buy a paintball gun, what's the first thing that they upgrade? And I'm like, well, it's usually the barrel. And, at that time, I think Lucky Paintball was doing really well. So I told him, hey, why don't you design a barrel for me? And he's like, oh, I have no time. And eventually, I think Lucky had some issues or something like that. And he said, hey, I have some time to design you a barrel. Why don't I do one for you? I said, hey, awesome. I got a company now, Furious Paintball, but we have no products. So he designed the barrel for me, sent it out to me. I tested it out. I was blown away. I found that, based on the porting design and just, the barrel was well balanced. It wasn't too light, it wasn't too heavy. The honing was great. Mirror finish in the barrel. The porting was very unique. Um, it was more air efficient. It was more accurate. It was quieter. It was silent. So I thought, well, maybe this could just be me talking to myself. I passed it out to a whole bunch of people, and I got really good, reviews on the barrel. And that's kind of been our flagship product all these years. It's a barrel. I mean, we've got Team Vicious, who've been using them for 3 years. They've been with us for 3 years. We'll sign them up for this season as well. Scenario teams like Desert Edge and Bad Karma, Explicit, Pro NPPL, Chicago Legend, Pro NPPL. We have a lot of teams that can get tons of stuff for free, but they choose to use our barrel system, I guess because it works. I mean, if it doesn't work, they wouldn't use it.
Right.
So that's where we are today.
Stupid internet. There we go. So your first product was barrels, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm showing up these I've got these purple and gold barrels.
Yeah, we've got a purple barrel right here as well.
Yeah, you were showing me earlier down the barrel. Do that again.
Sure.
Look at how smooth that is. So I was asking you earlier, is it rifled? And you said rifling doesn't matter in paintball.
Well, I don't want to diss anybody, but we've done our tests and everything, and we've found that the rifling does not really affect um, the paintball as well. And look at that honing. We've got a mirror finish right there. You can't even see the seams.
Yeah, it's really nice. There's seams in there?
Yeah. There's no seams. You can't see anything. I mean, it's like you can't even see the connection. So it's like trying to shoot someone, trying to adjust properly here.
What about all the holes? What's the purpose of all the holes besides collecting paint when a ball breaks?
Well, you see, the number of ports there are, exactly how many ports, which ones are scalloped, how big they are, the distance from the back to the start of the ports. I mean, it all makes a difference, I mean, it's all, I guess some of it could be subjective as well. But, we've found that this works for us. And like I said, I think the fact that a lot of these pro tournament teams are choosing to shoot our barrels obviously means that our porting design does work. There's always going to be people out there that say, oh, a barrel is just a tube with holes in it. Well, if that's the case, then I think, we'd be out of business, And with us, once you try the barrel, then you really know the difference.
So these ones that, let me get the picture.
Okay.
So the gold and the purple one, what's the significance of those between the one that you just held up?
Oh, okay. Those two barrels there, I mean, there's no back. I mean, those are just the tips. You see, this is the back of the barrel here. I'll just take that out and show you. I can just show you the back. So basically the back's right here. So basically that, goes in there. So, a lot of people, they say, oh, your backs are too short and everything. But we've found from our experience that this length of back is actually the most efficient for the optimum acceleration of paintball. We find that it doesn't need to be any longer. So these backs, we have copper threads, spider threads, angel A1 fly threads, A1 threads, X7, A5, BT threads. They fit any gun, impulse threads. So this is the back. We have them in 679, 685, 689, 693. And the tips, right here, we have them in 12-inch, 10-inch, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we've got them in all kinds of colors and any kind of configuration you want, basically.
So what's the difference between, I mean, why would I want to choose, there's so many barrel companies out there, why would I want to choose a Furious barrel over others?
Well, like I said, once you've shot the barrel, you'll see that it's more silent, it's more accurate. We've got a whole range of bore sizes. A lot of companies still don't make 679 backs. Our porting design works. Pro teams use it. It's more accurate. It's more air efficient. You can actually turn up. One thing very interesting that we've found with our barrel system is that when you change a barrel, you need to re-chrono your marker with our barrel, because when you put our barrel on, it increases the FPS, the feet per second. So let's say if you're shooting, let's say 280, 285 on a stock barrel. Once you put our barrel on, you'll find that you're shooting maybe like a 290 or 295. So that kind of means that you could turn your dwell down.
So if I were a tourney player, I'd want the two-piece barrel because the paint is not always going to be exactly the size. But if I'm just a rec player, I just get a regular barrel. I don't need the back pieces, right?
Well, I mean, if you're a regular player, you can just get like a 689 that would work with everything. But of course, if you're a tourney player, again, it doesn't really matter actually. It depends whether you want to underbore or whether you want to overbore. If you want a good paint to barrel match. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want optimal performance, you want to have a good paint to barrel match. So, if your paint is like small, like I think if it's in winter, you might want to go down to a 679 because the paint maybe shrinks a bit. The paint is smaller. Depends on if you're on the east or the west coast. Like it depends on your paint size as well. So to get the optimal performance from your marker, barrel, and paint, you should try to match the barrel to the paint. Because you don't want to be shooting, let's say, a 687 ball on a 693 board because you're going to be wasting air, and it's not going to be optimal acceleration because there's a lot of gap in between the paint and the board. So a lot of people don't understand that, But of course, the pros and all that. I mean, those who play very frequently and want the best performance out of their equipment, they would understand that paint to barrel match is ineminent to optimal performance. Hitting that target, shooting out that laser beam, and putting exactly where you want it to go.
I can, as a rec player, I just started playing with an E-Tech this last year, and the team that I play on now with Bad to the Bone, some of them use two-piece barrels, and their paint, we shoot pretty decent paint, and we all shoot planted clips, and their two-piece barrels actually shoot better than my stock barrel. I still get good accuracy, but not as far as them. But you guys aren't just about paintball. You guys also have a battery.
Yeah, that's right. We actually have, we've got our new EcoPack batteries right now, which I can just show you right here on the cam. They're like a 10-pack, and they're not in blister packs, so as not to, throw a lot of paper in the environment and all that. So we've got them in a 10-pack. I'll just show you right here. And yeah, they're a nice 10-pack right here. So they're blister packed, so that you know they're brand new. And they're the highest rating for 9-volt and AA batteries. They last longer. And yeah, they're paintball related. So yeah, we've had good success with the batteries too. But sometimes, the batteries you get from the wholesale places, you don't know the quality, and they're cheap, sure, but you get what you pay for. So we try to keep the batteries very consistent, good quality, and they last long.
So how are your batteries comparable to, like, say, Duracell?
I would say that they're the same level with Duracell and Energizer, and maybe a little bit cheaper.
Well, I've tried another paintball battery, which we won't mention, and I was very disappointed in the performance. I paid more than a regular battery, and I had to put a new battery in the next day. And you've obviously played with your own batteries. How often do you have to change your battery on your marker?
Well, in fairness to the other company, I guess we just don't have the volume like Energizer and Duracell now that has. So there could have been an issue with one of the batches. I'm not sure. That's why I'm very, very picky with our battery quality as well. But in terms of how long it lasts, you could go through some of the guys like on Vicious and Explicit, they're going through a tournament and a couple of practices on the same battery. So you definitely get more bang for your buck.
That's awesome. And I would buy a battery from you because just talking to you today, you're a paintball player. You're not, sure, you're in business to make a profit, but the reason you started your business was because you couldn't get the service and the quality that you expected for your dollar. And so that's why I would buy from you.
Hey, I'll send you some over, man. Don't worry.
What do you have in store for the future of Furious Paintball? What can we see coming out next?
Well, I don't want to reveal too much, but I would just like to say that, maybe one thing that I can share is that a lot of people have been asking for shorter barrels. So, we will be having 10-inch and 12-inch tips coming out, for like the snake players and the woods ball guys who want to hide out, So I just want to say that we always listen to what our customers want. We find that very important to have loyal customers. I would rather do quality over quantity anytime. So it doesn't matter if I'm not selling a whole bunch of barrels, but as long as I'm doing a quality product which exceeds my customers' expectations, then that's where I'm going to be happy. So yeah, we're coming up with the shorter tips because there's been a demand for that. The 679 bore is something that we came up because a lot of customers asked for it. We did a 685 bore, and a lot of people complained that it was too small. So, we listened to our customer, and we did a 679 bore, and that has been very successful. We've sold a lot of those. So, yeah, we've got a couple of tricks up our sleeve, but I just want to let everyone know that Furious Paintball is all about customer service and loyalty. I reply to every single email, and I want to work with everyone. And yeah, I hope that everyone can support Furious Paintball. Don't get angry, get furious.
Awesome. And they can find out you guys. They can find you on the web at furiouspaintball.com. Aren't you guys are on Facebook also, right?
Yeah, you can just look for us on facebook.com/Furious Paintball. I think we have like 5,000 likes now, which is pretty cool.
And you guys are of the Malaysian paintball circuit.
Yeah, actually one thing which is very interesting for this year, like I'm going to be in Huntington Beach in April. Like we're the official battery sponsor for the NPPL for 2011.
Oh, that's tight. That must not have been easy to come by.
Yeah, so basically, Furious Paintball Power Cell batteries are going to be available at all NPPL events, and actually every single team will get a little goodie bag of Furious Paintball Power Cells to try out, and they will be available for sale during every NPPL tournament.
That's tight. That's tight. Well, we're
So
just about out
we're
of
doing
time,
our bit
Matthew. Is there
to help people save some money and try out our products, and yeah, we just want to create loyal customers. That's what we really want at the end of the day.
would you like to shout out to anybody? Grant, your mom, your dad?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Jimmy. My man in St. Louis, Missouri. Jimmy has been with me since day one, and without him, Fierce would not be where it is today. So thank you, Jimmy, man. I owe you, man. And I would like to thank all the teams that support us, like Vicious. We've re-signed Vicious for 2011. Team Desert Edge, Top Scenario Team, Bad Karma. The other teams that helped us out, like Explicit, like Chicago Legend, Bob Long's Blast. Just thank you to everyone, and thanks for believing in us. Thanks for giving us a chance, and yeah, we look forward to being here for a very long time to come.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Matthew, and we'll see you. You can find out more about Furious Paintball and the whole Asian paintball circuit by going to paintballnews.asia, and we'll see you on the online.
Thanks.